Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I am delighted to have you here today. Today, we will be exploring the handling of non-standard quality, or NSQ. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. On this first slide, I just want to briefly introduce what we'll be discussing. We'll look into what NSQ is, why it matters, and how we can effectively manage it. So, let's get started and delve into this important topic together. So, let's talk about what NSQ actually means. NSQ stands for not of standard quality. Essentially, a drug or batch is considered NSQ when it doesn't meet one or more of the specific quality parameters outlined in the second schedule of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940. These parameters are there to ensure safety, efficacy, and quality. Now, there are various reasons why a product might be labeled as NSQ. It could be due to assay failure, which means it doesn't have the correct amount of active ingredient. Or there might be issues with dissolution, pH failures, contamination, impurities, or sterility problems. All of these are critical quality aspects that need to be within specified limits. It's important to understand that NSQ is different from other categories like spurious, adulterated, or misbranded drugs. Each has its own distinct meaning and implications. The focus here with NSQ is specifically on failing to meet the quality standards set by regulations, which can impact the safety and effectiveness of the drug. This distinction helps us maintain strict control over pharmaceutical quality and protect public health. Let's take a closer look at the legal and regulatory framework that governs drug quality in our country. The Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940, along with its rules, lays down the standards that all drugs must meet. These standards are essential to ensure safety and efficacy. Specifically, Section 16(1)(a) of the Act clearly defines what constitutes the quality standards for drugs. This section acts as a foundation for quality control, setting clear benchmarks for manufacturers to follow. To enforce these standards, the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, or CDSCO, plays a key role. They oversee the regulation of drugs at the national level. Additionally, the state drug laboratories support this effort by conducting surveillance and testing batches of drugs. When they find a batch that doesn't meet the standards, they declare it as NSQ, or not of standard quality. This process helps protect consumers and maintain trust in the pharmaceutical system, which is at the core of our overall goal of ensuring safe, effective medicines for everyone. Let's take a closer look at what NSQ classification involves. NSQ, or non-standard quality, includes several types of issues that can arise during the manufacturing and testing process. For example, failures in physical or chemical tests are common indicators that something might be off with a batch. These tests help ensure the product's stability and efficacy. Incorrect or incomplete labeling is another critical aspect because it can lead to misunderstandings about the product's contents or usage. Foreign particulate matter is also a concern, as it can compromise safety and quality if contaminants are present. Sterility failures are particularly serious, especially for sterile products, since they can pose significant health risks. Dissolution or assay failures are also part of NSQ classification, highlighting problems with how the drug releases or its potency. It's important to note that these failures usually apply to the specific batch that was tested, not necessarily to every batch of that product. This distinction helps us focus on addressing issues at the batch level without overgeneralizing. Overall, understanding NSQ classification helps us identify and manage quality issues effectively, ensuring that only safe and reliable products reach our patients. Now, let's take a closer look at our regulatory surveillance system. Every month, we collect samples from a wide range of sources, including pharmacies, wholesalers, and distribution points, to ensure comprehensive coverage. These samples are then tested at our central drug laboratories and state drug testing labs, which helps us maintain high standards and catch issues early. Additionally, the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, or CDSCO, updates and uploads lists of not of standard quality, or NSQ, and spurious products online each month. This transparency allows us to keep track of problematic drugs and take timely action. For recent examples, in December 2025, we had 74 plus 93 drug samples declared NSQ, while in November 2025, 205 samples were flagged for NSQ. Among the commonly failing drugs are paracetamol, aceclofenac, pantoprazole, amoxicillin, and albendazole. These figures highlight the importance of our surveillance system in safeguarding public health by identifying and addressing substandard medicines promptly. Let's walk through the NSQ identification workflow. First, it all starts with sample collection, where we gather the necessary samples for testing. Once we have the samples, they are sent to approved laboratories for testing. These labs perform thorough evaluations based on established quality parameters. If any issues are identified during testing, a failure is reported, which then leads to the sample being designated as NSQ, or not suitable for quality. After that, this information is communicated through notifications and published for transparency and awareness. Finally, if necessary, regulatory actions are initiated to address the issues and ensure safety and compliance. This workflow is essential for maintaining high standards and safeguarding public health throughout the entire process. Let's start by looking at some of the regulatory actions that can be taken on NSQ products. When a product is found to be non-compliant or poses a risk, authorities may require an immediate recall of specific batches. This is a critical step to protect public health and prevent further distribution of unsafe products. In addition, regulators can issue show-cause notices to manufacturers, asking them to explain why certain issues occurred and what corrective actions are being taken. This helps ensure accountability and transparency in the manufacturing process. Investigations and legal actions may also be initiated if systemic failures are identified. These can lead to penalties or more severe consequences for the manufacturer. In extreme cases, there might be a suspension of the product license or even the manufacturing license, especially if repeated or serious failures are found. Now, turning to manufacturer responsibilities, it's essential that manufacturers maintain robust quality management systems, or QMS. This means having well-structured procedures to oversee every aspect of production and quality assurance. Following good manufacturing practices, or GMP, is also crucial. These practices ensure consistent quality and safety of the products. Effective in-process controls and thorough documentation are key components. They help catch issues early and provide traceability for everything that happens during production. Lastly, manufacturers need a solid system for handling deviations and nonconformities. This includes implementing corrective and preventive actions, or CAPA, to address problems promptly and prevent their recurrence. Overall, these measures and responsibilities form the backbone of a safe and effective manufacturing environment, aligning with our overall goal of ensuring product quality and consumer safety. When handling NSQ, or non-conforming quality issues, it's essential to have a clear process in place. First, detection and reporting are critical. Recognizing a problem early and documenting it thoroughly helps us respond effectively. Next, quarantining the affected stock prevents it from reaching customers and minimizes potential impact. Root cause analysis, or RCA, is the next vital step. By digging into why the issue occurred, we can identify the underlying cause rather than just addressing symptoms. Once we've pinpointed the root cause, we develop corrective and preventive actions, or CAPA, to resolve the immediate problem and prevent recurrence. Documentation and record keeping are also crucial. They ensure traceability and compliance with regulations. Speaking of which, regulatory reporting and adherence to compliance standards are the final pieces that complete the process, ensuring transparency and accountability. Let's look at an example to bring this to life. Suppose a batch fails the dissolution test. An investigation might reveal that the wet granulation process was performed with incorrect timing. The corrective action here would be retraining staff and recalibrating the process to ensure it's done correctly moving forward. For preventive measures, we might revise our standard operating procedures to emphasize proper granulation checks. This entire process underscores how systematic handling of NSQ issues maintains product quality and supports our overall commitment to compliance and continuous improvement. Let's talk about the recall and market withdrawal procedures. First, once we receive confirmation from NSQ that there's a need for a recall, we should trigger the recall process immediately. It's crucial to act promptly to protect public health. Next, we need to notify all distributors and pharmacies without delay, so they can stop distribution and handle affected stock appropriately. We also have to issue a public alert, either through regulators or directly from the manufacturer, to inform healthcare professionals and consumers about the issue. This helps ensure everyone is aware and can take necessary precautions. Finally, tracking the return of all affected batches is essential. We need to monitor and document every returned item to ensure complete removal from the market. These steps are vital in managing product recalls effectively and minimizing risk, which ties back to our overall goal of maintaining safety and trust in our products. Let's talk about how we can effectively prevent NSQ, or non-substandard quality, occurrences in our processes. First, implementing quality by design, or QBD principles, is essential. This approach encourages us to build quality into every stage of product development, ensuring we understand and control variability from the outset. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. Next, we should leverage risk management tools, specifically following the ICH-Q9 approach. This helps us systematically identify potential risks and prioritize mitigation strategies, which is crucial in maintaining consistent quality. Regular internal audits are also a key component. They serve as a continuous check to ensure our processes remain compliant and effective, allowing us to catch issues early before they become bigger problems. Finally, robust supplier qualification is vital. By thoroughly vetting and continuously monitoring our suppliers, we can ensure the raw materials and components we receive meet our quality standards, reducing the chances of introducing variability into our processes. All these elements, QBD, risk management, audits, and supplier qualification, are interconnected. Together, they form a comprehensive strategy to prevent NSQ occurrences and uphold the integrity of our products throughout the entire life cycle. Let's wrap up with the conclusion. Managing NSQ effectively is absolutely critical for ensuring patient safety, maintaining compliance, and building trust in our brand. When we talk about NSQ, we're really emphasizing the importance of aligning our practices with regulatory norms. This is essential to stay on the right side of the law and uphold our responsibilities. Implementing effective quality systems and engaging in proactive surveillance play a big role in reducing the risks associated with non-standard quality. These proactive measures help us catch issues early and prevent problems before they arise. And of course, continuous improvement is key. By constantly refining our processes, we not only stay compliant, but aim for excellence in quality. All of these elements tie back to our core goal: protecting patients, ensuring trust, and strengthening our reputation through quality. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help with any questions or additional assistance you might need. Feel free to contact us through the provided channels. And with that, I want to thank you all sincerely for your time and attention today. Your engagement is truly appreciated, and I hope you found this presentation valuable. Again, thank you and have a great day.